Hi, welcome to How Do I Know You with your host, Mark, Dwayne, and Adelfa. Say hi, guys.
Hello.
What up?
And today's topic is...
Can single people be just friends? And I'm taking over the show today and hosting and asking all the questions.
Adelfa Takeover.
Adelfa Takeover.
How Do I Know You edition.
The
Yes.
soundboard. This is like the gunshots.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
I'm pushing buttons.
All right.
Use your imagination, people.
Yes. Okay. So, first question.
Mm-hmm.
And this you can adjust to whatever your taste is, but you both are straight men.
Yes.
So, can single men and single women be just friends?
No. Podcast over. Good? Cool.
All right, guys.
All right. Tune in next week.
This is fun. This is why they'll keep watching.
Can single men and can single women be friends?
Like, just friends. Like, they're not fucking. They're not. That's it. They're not fucking. There's no relationship. They're just friends. And they're both single.
I say for a short time, maybe. But then if one starts developing feelings, then no. It'll like go.
I feel like it all depends on if they're attracted to each other or not.
So if they are, they can't be just friends.
No, it's not possible at all. Not even a little bit.
So for you to be
Somebody
friends,
fucking.
so for you to be friends, that person needs to be unattractive.
Either unattractive or like completely. For me, it's unattractive. We're too much alike, or she has to like have someone, and then it's like, all right, then we like there's nothing there or whatever.
What do you mean by someone if she's single, though?
What are you talking about?
Because in this scenario, it's two single people only.
Pay attention.
Oh,
Dwayne.
my bad. I'm thinking about my actual one. Over two single people.
Yeah. So if like someone has a crush on her, you won't fuck with her or something like that.
What do you mean? She has a crush on?
No, if it's like someone else outside of like you two, it has a crush on your friend, then you're not gonna mess with her. Is that what you're saying?
Wait,
like,
what do you mean mess with her? Like
Like
still be her friend or?
Yeah, and still be her friend.
Yeah, what's wrong with that?
I don't know. Okay, never mind.
Nothing to do with me.
Never mind.
You want to fuck my friend? Go ahead, man. Cool.
Have fun. Let me know what happens.
Please let me know, please.
Take video. Anyways.
Please don't take video.
Next question. So how many times y'all actually... He just spirals out of there.
So now let's say you're single and you are quote unquote friends with somebody and they start developing feelings for you without you feeling the same way. Does that make you like not want to be friends with them anymore? Wait, before that, have you ever gone into meeting someone going, I just want to be friends with you? You personally, the both of you.
Yeah. Yes, I have.
This nigga's a liar.
I have gone into this like that. It's never.
Liar.
It's not. It's
absolute.
It's not always. It's not always.
It's an absolute
The
fucking lie. You want to know
truth
why
comes
this shit is a lie? Because men choose other men by like friendship standards when it comes to like trivial shit. It's like, oh, we joke the same. Oh, we like the same sport or whatever. When's the last time you actually listened to a girl on like the thoughts and shit that she's had before you thought she was attractive? And then once you got to know her, you're like, oh, she actually is pretty funny. Lie to me, nigga. Lie to me right now.
Hold on, let me try. Let me give me a second. I could think of if I can make up something really quick on the spot.
Hold on.
Hold on, it's coming.
It's coming.
Damn it. I knew it. I knew it was going to happen. Does work count? Like, being at work, does that count?
I feel like that's the worst place, but...
You know what I mean? Like, you could talk to someone there and, like, it's not about trying to get with them.
Well, yeah, because there's, like, HR and shit, so...
Yeah.
That's a cop-out.
That's the ultimate goal. Land the HR.
Come on, man.
That's me. I mean, I say yeah. I say because of work. I'm using work as a reference of, like, I talk to people that like girls at work without the intention of trying to get with them. You? Hey, that's my answer. Oh, that is my answer.
But so we're still on the premises that we're both single, right?
Yeah.
You're both single, but you genuinely, have you ever gone into like, oh, she seems like a cool person, and like that's it? There was no, oh, I want to fuck, or like maybe we can go on a date. Like, have you ever met a woman who's also single and thought, yeah, I'd like to be friends? And that's it.
I feel like I know I have, but like
That sounds like a lie.
no. I feel like I know I have, but I feel like in the last 10 years of what I can remember in my life, no. But I feel like elementary, middle schools, yeah.
Before, yes.
That's when we're only allowed to be friends.
Before my dick had a mind. Yeah, sure. She's pretty cool. But no, the last 10 years of my life, I don't think so. I think, because I feel like most men go into like trying to get certain girls, and then when they don't get curved, but they end up just being cool with them, that's how like friendships start. At least from what I've seen and what I've been through.
But you go into it with the intention of trying to get with her.
Mm-hmm. It might not be, and usually it's the other way around. It's the dude trying to get the girl, but usually he either doesn't like fully attempt it, and he tries to do like the whole like, all right, I'm gonna see if she's feeling me, and then when she like makes noticeable like signs that this ain't gonna happen, then dudes completely like fall back and are like, all right. So I feel like most dudes go into it with the whole like, I just gotta show her that me and her can work, but then it just ends up in the friend zone.
You guys are so
and
manipulative.
Then it ends up in the If you knew about the conversations we have here alone.
Oh, honey.
But yeah, I feel like dudes do that, and then what happens is they end up developing an actual like appreciation of the girl, and then it's like, okay. Because at least for most dudes who end up, still actively trying to get other girls, eventually you're going to just run into someone else. And then that's going to make that other person not an option anymore, at least in my opinion. But there's some people I've seen, they're just like stuck on that person, which is weird.
So, have you guys ever been in a situation where the other person likes you so much more than you like them?
Yes.
Do you back away?
You try.
So this nigga's a liar.
I try. You don't know all my stories. You don't know all my stories, okay?
You've told me every single
Only the dirty ones, all right?
The good wholesome ones, I don't tell you.
No. Keep that shit to myself. In high school, there was this girl that was like really into me. And, like I didn't know what to do because she had like crazy eyes and it creeped me out a little bit.
Oh, this
She
is
was very attractive.
This is the black girl. I know this
Attractive.
story.
She was
Can
attractive.
you guys
Whatever.
stop
There you go.
pinpointing people and
By
saying
race.
the worst shit about them?
This is the nappy-headed girl, right?
The guy that brought
No.
the gun to school, he was
She had
fucking
good hair.
shitty these days.
She got good hair.
It's all his story.
It is.
And then this girl that liked me had fucking crazy eyes. And she was black.
I didn't even mention that.
But she was thick. He just left that part out. He was like, oh, it was the eyes. It was the eyes.
She was. I try to be like nice. I try to be like I talk, but like I try to not steer the conversation anywhere near like. She tried to like get me to go over her house, and I was just like, nah, I'm cool.
Well, okay. This is like a little side question. Why didn't you do anything with this person?
I think combination of
Skin tone.
Damn it. Quit telling me my racist secrets.
I just wasn't ready.
You have no idea how I hate being in between them. It's torture for me, really. It's just God. No, she just came on really strong, and I think I was scared. I didn't know what to do in high school. I wasn't the Casanova I am today.
Oh man, I have so many like questions I can go from this. We gonna save that, but
yeah, I just think I was inexperienced. I was like scared little kid. And I was just like, I did not handle it. So
okay,
I was scared.
All right.
What about you, Dwayne?
Yes, there were situations where, and for me, I was the guy who, like, if I knew a girl liked me and she was cool, I'm the dude who Like, if there's a girl that I see that I feel is bomb, I'm stuck on her. I don't care about nothing else. Like, in whatever situation, I'm gonna get her. I don't care if like 80 million girls come by and they just want to suck my dick. I don't care. I just want this situation. What?
I'm not take the blowjob.
No, he knows. Like, I'm like, and then there's funny situations because like high school, there's a lot of those moments where girls would do that to me, and I would
blowjobs.
Well, whoa, hey.
That's what you said.
Hey now.
Whoa. No, there's a lot of situations where girls would like talk to me and then, you know, it's like express that they liked me and all that stuff, and I was just like, oh, cool. But there was like another situation. I'm like, I know I can make this happen if I just have a little more time. And then, of course, what would happen, which is where I say we're manipulative, I would then befriend her, and I'm like, if that shit don't work, I'm gonna come back around and whatever. But then, of course, in high school, that doesn't work because then the girl's like, fuck you, and then she just finds another girl.
Yeah.
It's life.
It happens really quick.
It's life. It's never how you want it to go, where it's like, okay, I'm gonna fail with this girl, get with that girl, and then the other girl's gonna see I got hoes, and then she gonna come. Nope, never works that way.
Only in movies.
Only in movies
And TV.
Never worked.
Have you guys ever strung a girl along?
Yes, in high school.
No.
Really? For both of you?
Yeah.
Which one are you more surprised about, though?
I can't. I'm equally surprised. Mainly because I thought the answers would be reversed.
Yeah.
Why?
Oh, me first?
Yeah.
I don't do that because I don't like when it's done to not only me, but like us, like all my dudes, because it's happened to like all of us at some point or whatever. I don't like it at all. And I'm very like, that's an adamant, like, I don't like that, women. I hate that shit. I hate because y'all have so much power anyway, and then y'all do shit like that. I'm just like, yo, just say you don't fuck with me. Say I'm ugly. I don't care. Just let me walk away. Don't hold this power over me. And then I'm like, all right, I can do this. I can definitely do this. And then every time I get close to doing it, you fucking just put the goalpost a little further back, and we start the shit all over again. And I'm like, wow, I hate that. Don't do that. So that's why me personally, I don't do it. And he knows, like, there's been girls who have befriended me for the situation of I know they like me, I just don't talk to them.
Yeah.
Anymore.
He goes cold turkey on them.
It's fucked up.
I mean, it's a nice thing to do in the long run. For me, it was
I'm
just
a good person, ladies.
I know he doesn't look it. I know it is. For me, it was unintentional. It wasn't like I didn't go into the situation going like I'm gonna string this person along. That's how high my voice was back then.
Get them, ladies.
I would not have a flashing thing for me. That's only for you. It was weird because like I would like this girl like one day and then the next not. It was just it was that kind of a thing for me. And anytime she would catch my interest, I'd be around. But then if I'd lose it, then I would just go away. And yeah, it just kept going like that for a little bit.
Excuse me.
So it wasn't intentional, but I did do it.
Before we go on to the next question, have you ever strung a man on?
Oh.
No.
Okay, moving on.
End of podcast.
We can't. Nah, by the end of this podcast, guys, I'm gonna hold her to the flame. I'm gonna get her.
You can't get me.
Metaphorical,
get it.
literal, whichever.
Can disappear at any point. Fuck.
Why'd you-
lose our train of thought?
Why'd you find that so surprising, our answers?
I don't know. I just like I know Mark, and I wouldn't have thought that he would have strung somebody along.
You
you're
really
black,
don't know this
so.
thing.
If we're being honest.
Wait, why do faithful black men up in the building? Why do we get this fucking bad rap?
Why do you guys get this bad rap?
That's what I'm trying to figure
First
out.
off, this question just trailed along,
Yeah.
so roll with us,
That-
and
yeah.
we'll circle back at some point. But please,
Why do we get such a bad rap? And I feel like it comes from our own community. It's not right, ladies. All right, because a lot of us, especially every nigga I know, they are beautiful fathers, beautiful husbands, beautiful boyfriends. They do not do any fuck shit at all. I don't understand where this fucking narrative comes from, because that's fucked up. And y'all, like, I feel like don't put a whole like thing on our race and the whole black men cheating all this shit when y'all just fuck with stupid niggas. It's on y'all. Like, ain't got nothing to do with us. There's a bunch of good niggas out there.
Do you think that you've ever stereotyped or generalized a race?
Of women?
Yeah, like as far as like I won't date white women because I won't date such and such women because.
As Mark fucking goes off.
Mark just ran out of here.
It's too much pressure. Have I? Okay. So the first half of my life, no, I was very open to like I'll date anything that I find attractive. Because Nick, you may get on the mic. But I would date. I'd be cool with anything I found attractive, right? And I feel like it was because of the way I was raised. My grandparents never said anything really about race and stuff. They never really, but I know how they felt about like white people and shit. But they never said anything about like you can't do this, you can't do that.
Right.
It wasn't until I went to our middle school where it was predominantly white people that I started to feel like, okay, wait a minute, because like my first year, 6th grade, it was like, all right, this girl's cute. She just happens to be white. And then it went from, okay, she's white. How's this going to work? And then I started to hear like the shit that they would say about like us and stuff. And it grew this internal thing in me where I was like, nah, I can't fuck with them. Because I saw them like say shit about niggas. I saw them that was my first instance of white privilege. Because they would do shit and then completely lie to a teacher or someone in the student, whatever, and then like a nigga would be in trouble. I saw that shit. So then personally after that I was like, I don't know about white girls. But I still wasn't like, fuck white girls. High school comes around, there's no white girls, so I'm like, whatever. And then when it came back to college, that's when I was around white girls again, but then it was totally different. Now niggas was cool. And I didn't like that either. So I didn't like the whole, I didn't feel like it was a
trend.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it was a genuine thing. I still don't.
Yeah.
If y'all want to be honest, I don't feel like this shit is genuine at all. I feel like a lot of white girls and whoever who actually like black dudes. I'm not saying if you have a black boyfriend, husband, and you're white, fucking cool, whatever. I'm saying I feel like the whole thing about black men this and like we've become somewhat of a
You're like a hot commodity.
Yeah, it's like we're trendy now. And then I have a Hispanic friend who even told me that black people were in. I got so mad at that nigga. I was like, what are you talking about? Like, and so that's why me personally, I don't do it for that reason. So
at some point you felt like, fuck white girls. I wouldn't date one. I don't want to be with the white woman. But initially you started saying that you don't like the narrative about black men.
Right.
So what do you have to say about the white women that are like, we don't like the narrative about us? We don't like that people think that we like black dudes because we think they're trendy. Like, what do you have to say about that? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I don't give y'all no benefit of the doubt. Fuck y'all. But I mean, like I said, I understand their side and their point to it. Because I believe there was like an episode of Atlanta that dealt with that same thing where
with Zazie and what is that her name?
I don't even know. Whatever.
Yeah. With the German shit, the weird like where she's with her friend and she's like, but you only date white or like.
Right. No, it was an episode like that, and there was another one where they were at Drake's house.
Yes.
And the pro black girl was so mad at the celebrity dude for having a white I think I don't know if it was a girlfriend or his wife. And then she had confronted the white girl, and the white girl was like, I've been with him through this, through that, all this stuff and whatever. How come I just can't like him? And then she like paused and she was like, bitch, get your like I get it. Like I understand it. So I guess they're gonna have to just put up with it. To be honest, they're gonna have to put up with it because we have to put up with that shit. I feel like we have to put up with so much more once we jump into that realm of white women anyway. That it has to be something like giving back. If y'all, because y'all gonna get it from our side, so it's gonna happen. But I feel like our side is way more loving. like, because I have a white brother in my family. I have second cousins who are white. So Like, and none of us ever were like, this nigga's white. Like, we were all just like, oh, you like that person? Cool.
Yeah.
But I can tell actual facts that recently my sister got married. That would be my brother now, who is white, and his family was not very inviting during the wedding. So,
Right.
this goes back to my point. Y'all gonna have to deal with this shit. You can flame me in the comments. That's not right. Yeah. Fuck, man.
What about you, Mark? Is there a race or a certain kind of girl that you would not date?
No.
Black.
Yeah, why you starting this? Why
White.
you starting this? It's clearly not true.
Well, like
You know, I have to say, we had a conversation one night, and Mark told me that he likes black women.
Yeah.
I
And
know.
I was so shocked. Like, we were about to throw him a fucking party. We were like, oh, it's on.
The thing is, I know he's afraid but he doesn't want to admit it. He's afraid.
Afraid of what?
He's afraid of black women. He does not. Exactly. He does not want because
But that's good.
he don't want to deal with that.
Like,
He don't want to deal with that.
really?
Oh, you mean throughout? No, I'm fine with throughout. Like if I,
No, I'm talking about in the beginning.
in the beginning, yeah.
Yeah, you don't want exactly.
Wait
I
a
don't know what to do.
second. Okay, tell me more. What does that mean?
You
What
don't
happens in the
yeah.
beginning that comes on too strong that you can't handle?
I don't even think it's coming on too strong. I think, and this is me being, I'm trying to jump in his head. I feel like, pause.
Good looking there.
I feel like when it comes to black women, I think Mark feels like that there's certain standards that you have to meet to already like to entice them that isn't the same when it comes to like Hispanic women or things like that. I feel like he feels like you have to dress a certain way and be a certain way and like this. I feel like he feels like he doesn't either want to or won't meet that. So it's just like, I'm not even gonna try. It's like a whatever. But I feel like he sees these girls and he's like, oh, she looks attractive. Because we even like last time we were in the gym, there was a black girl who walked by and he was like, oh my god, Ebony Queen. And I was like,
that is my catchphrase for you.
yeah, like, and I'm like, I feel like it's only because if they were Hispanic, it'd be on. But because they're black, I feel like he puts so much shit on top of it. Like, no, this is like
I do put them on a pedestal. Yeah,
Yeah, like-
they're like it's like oh, like it's like some mythical like oh my god. So,
But see, I feel like
So attractive.
everyone does that to a particular race that they're into.
yeah, I wouldn't say even I go beyond race and just like a certain attractiveness. It's just
Right.
like it's just like oh, I'm too scared to even
So
try.
wait, would you date an average-looking black woman?
Yeah, sure. I don't.
So you're saying that there's
I don't know. I don't know what the definition of average is.
I mean, because you said a certain level of attractiveness. So I'm assuming you mean like, give me somebody that's like up there that you're like, I don't even want to bother you. Like you're a
Kaylani.
queen. Oh
Damn
my
it.
god, we're not gonna do this again. No.
Look, Kaylani.
No.
Look, it's our second time.
She's pregnant.
Looking for you,
Leave her-
bitch.
Mark's
Oh,
like,
for the audio listeners, I
ready to
shrugged.
get that.
Like I didn't care if she was pregnant or not.
It's none of ours.
You're looking
Look,
for
we
a-
ready.
a father for your child.
My DNA
Mark
will
is
take
like-
over. We'll take over though. Yeah.
My,
Anyways.
my plan is either she comes because of like fanfare for us, or she comes because she just wants to punch me for talking all this shit, and you still meet her anyway. That's how it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
At least I hope. Please.
Either way, it's fun.
Either way, it's fun.
Good luck, guys.
No, because I think like the women at the gym I would consider them average, just because.
He just killed the whole gym community.
No, like average in the sense that they're not celebrities. Like when I
Oh,
name
okay,
like
okay,
people, I go
okay.
like, oh, celebrities are like that. Whoa.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. Like if I had the opportunity, like if things lined up or whatever, and I was able to talk to an average gym girl, I guess I would. I have. I've waved hi sometimes to people.
So what's
Yeah.
stopping you from like making that move and asking them out?
I get spazzy sometimes.
Oh, he's super spazzy.
I get spazzy, and then I like start tongue twister in my mouth, and I just
Ugh.
yeah, that's where the twisters happen. And then I just kind of lose it. And then if I trip up like that, I shut down basically, and I'm like, it's not worth it anymore, kind of thing. Yeah.
So there's no race that you wouldn't date.
Oh no. If I find you attractive, I'm going after you. Basically.
Good man.
Now,
Open heart.
would you guys ever go for someone that's in a relationship?
Damn it.
Oh yeah,
Wait,
you about to be on this
wait.
nigga right now,
Wait.
boy.
No names.
Wait a
Sips
second.
my tea.
Stupid.
I want a short yes or no answer because I have a follow-up question.
Okay. Yes.
No,
Dwayne, you would never go for somebody that's in a relationship.
no,
Mark, you would.
Yes.
have.
Mark, would you go? Fuck,
Several times.
you guys.
It's a curse, dude. It's I'm not even playing. Go ahead. Just whatever you ask.
And
Did you go-
succeeded.
Wait,
It's the
wait.
crazy.
So you've done it. We're just because obviously we're gonna talk about it. So let's talk about it.
All right.
You've gone after somebody in a relationship.
Yeah, both unknowingly and knowingly. Because I want to say throughout my younger days, I would start talking to a girl.
This was last month. This nigga's a lot. No,
It's like 3 months.
I was a kid really back then. No, I've like started talking to them. They've talked back to me, get close, blah blah blah. Then later I find out they're like in a relationship, and I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird that we've been talking like this, and you've been having a boyfriend the whole time. But I don't stop.
talking like what though?
That's what I was gonna ask. What is
Just
that
like
look
the flirtatious shit, like late night texts, talking about just each other
Fucking-
and stuff like that. Yeah, I mean,
Pause. Okay, real quick, because we have a female who is on the podcast and everything. Right. This is a perfect question. So, Deli.
It's okay.
My
It's
bad.
fine.
I'm sorry.
Deli's what like family calls.
I'm sorry.
me.
I'm so sorry.
No. It's totally fine. I just like if you hear that, it's like it's a like a pet name from everybody that
My bad,
close
my
with.
bad. So, Adelfa. I'm assuming that you have male friends. Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you in favor of night texts?
No.
So, do you have a cutoff time?
Yes.
What is the cutoff time?
I would say like past like 8:30. I'm like, what could not wait until tomorrow?
It's a good woman. It's a good woman right here.
That is my biggest like.
is that just an overall rule of like either single or married?
No, like I feel like if you're single, do whatever the fuck you want. If both parties are single, do whatever you want. But if somebody's in a relationship, I feel like you have to respect their partner, whether like you're just friends or it's work related or something. It's like you had all day and you can also just wait till the next morning. Like there's no need. And I say this often. I'm like, don't text my husband past like 9 o'clock. Like that, to me, that's the biggest sign of disrespect.
She will fight
because it's our time. Like at that point, it's our time.
She'll pull up.
About to catch these
So I
hands.
feel like it's just disrespectful. Like you don't know what's going on at home. You don't know if they haven't seen each other, if it's their time. Like I just
Getting it
think
crack.
past that time, there's just no more. So I kind of cut it off then. And that's just me. What do you think? Because you're with somebody.
Mhm.
So Mark's single, Dwayne's with somebody, and I'm married.
Yeah, so we have all
so
three.
we have like, it's a well-rounded perspective.
Yep.
So what's your thing?
I set the rule for us to 10 o'clock. That was the first time around just because we both worked late when we first got together. So I was like, I understand if you leave work at 10 and then like when your male coworkers text you at 10:30, it's like, hey, did I forget this? Mm-hmm. That's cool. I understand that or whatever.
Yeah.
Anything else, I don't want to hear that shit. I don't want to see that shit. I don't know about y'all, but I'm a person where, like, I feel like a lot of men do this when it comes to their partners. Like, they'll see the shit, but they won't say anything because they don't want to seem bothered or threatened or seem like, oh no, you're
fight.
yeah, whatever.
Right.
I'm not that nigga at all. So I'm like, so if I see it, I'm like, yo, why is he texting me like so late? And then like, I don't care. Just give me like the whole like, oh, it's so for this person, this. All right, cool.
I feel like reason matters too then,
Right,
right? Like,
right.
because if it's work or if it's something that's urgent or like it legitimately cannot wait, I can understand it. But if it's just like, hey, let's catch up and it's fucking 11 p.m. or 1 o'clock in the morning and it's like, ugh, could you believe? It's like, I could, bitch, and this could have waited till tomorrow.
Like, see, that's what I'm saying. And then my girl flipped it on me, and it's the same thing now. So it's like there will be nothing on my phone that's passed or whatever. Because there's been moments where we've been together, and then girls have texted me, like coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
But like I show her the text, and it's always work related.
Yeah.
It has nothing. It's never like what are you doing or anything like that. It's never that. So.
Mark, you as a single person, when you hear shit like this, what do you think? Do you
Oh, my time
agree or
to
do
step
you feel like we're being
No, I agree.
ridiculous or like
I completely agree. So
overprotective?
that's why when I do the late night texts with these girls, you take it as a sign. Like
Yeah,
that's
'cause
one
it
of the.
means something, right? You guys are so ridiculous.
That's why you can't do it with your friends.
Oh my god! No, I was gonna say the same thing. Like it's so fucked up because that's how we gauge if we could beat or not. Like, and it's so fucked up. But it's like if you text like us,
small things.
and it's like it's way past whatever. It's like, oh yeah, we can beat. Ain't even. Please.
Question. Before I forget, Dwayne,
Yes.
does it have to do with an insecurity?
What do you mean?
As far as like what if somebody's texting her late? Would it bother you because you're like why does it bother you? Is it respect? Is it like, I don't know where this is going, I feel like you're gonna do something? Like, what is it?
It's full respect for me. Like I have a big thing on like respect and disrespect, and my girl knows this. So like, and I'll take it even further from like stuff like that to like if I meet, because that happened a lot our first year. If I meet your male friends and I don't like the vibe or whatever, I'm gonna approach them some way somehow.
Wait, what
It's
does
hilarious
that
when it
mean?
happens, by the way.
Wait, what do you mean? What does that mean?
What does that look like?
So I've basically the stuff he knows is like I've like pushed the nigga and all that shit, but that he was pussy, so that don't whatever. That don't matter. But like when it comes to me and her, I've pretty much I'll ask her about something. The one thing I feel like girls do that is always the worst is when they say like when I ask something or when a man asks you about something, we just want an answer that is sufficient for like any normal thing. So it's like if I say what happened to the car, don't go, oh, don't worry about it, or like, oh, that was so long ago, it doesn't matter. It's not sufficient. I just want to know what happened to the car. Mm-hmm. So like if I ask, so and so, like you and him, like how long y'all know each other, and you say like, oh, it's whatever. Then I go, okay, like how? Because like you guys are so much older, and then you're all like, oh, like it doesn't even matter now. Like no one.
Oh yes.
Like
It's
that's
like red flag.
Instantly. So I'm like, all right, bet. Like
Because that answer pretty much means, oh, he was trying to get at me, but then we just kind of became
right.
Yeah.
So for me, in those situations, like, and my whole thing is again, it's just respect because I'm like, I don't like being out of the loop on shit, especially in those situations where you have to meet these people, go to these fucking dumbass parties and shit, and you have to like be around people because I feel like.
You feel stupid,
You
right?
feel
Like
super
you're like,
stupid.
don't make a fucking fool out of me.
Like, these dudes could have been clowning me the whole time. And it's like, I did this and that. But then girls, for some reason, do the whole, like, it doesn't matter. Or it was so long ago. Like, it was who. I'm like, that does matter, though. It does. Because you look dumb. Because
and
you're
also
walking.
at those parties, like that guy has all those friends, right?
Exactly.
And they're on his side.
It's like a fucking away game.
Yeah.
You have no support. So if you wild out, you just look crazy.
Yep.
So you got to hold everything in. You got to be all calm and shit. And then you have to like check dude a little bit in little situations. Be like, what's up, man? Oh, man, nothing, man. Hey, man. Oh, how you been or whatever. Oh, how'd you guys meet and everything? I'm like, okay, yeah, ask them questions. I'll tell you everything. Tell you everything. And that's how I feel. But of course, with niggas like him now, I know all the games because this is like my cheat code in this shit.
Yeah. So I really did it for science. That's the really reason. That's why I did it.
Science. That's what he calls pussy.
Goddamn.
Oh, okay. Wait, before we continue, has there been situations?
What is this segue?
Because I'm telling you, man, I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. Has there been situations where you've been out with your husband or whatever, and then people don't know
That you're together.
Yeah, and like, have you felt the vibe where like, or not even? Okay, let's do it both ways. Have they known, or have they known and not cared? And like, have dudes tried to approach you a certain type of way, and things like that? In the second part of this question, before you answer, and if it does happen, do you tell your husband, or do you just brush it off as like, I handle it?
So, my husband's Manny, which is
Cool, she said it.
Mark's brother, and like they've basically grown up together. But Manny and I are super honest with each other, like beyond honest. I think we're like, I know about people he's talked to or like people he's dated. I know about people, whatever, and so is he. Like, he knows all that stuff. So there's been occasions where like, I don't know if I've noticed it happening to me, but he'll say something like, oh, that guy was just looking at you. And I have blinders on at this point. Like, I'm just so happy in my relationship that I don't look at anybody anymore.
This is so false, bro.
I'm like, no, it's not.
This is so false.
Literally,
I hate this shit,
you
man.
you know what happened the other day? And this just goes to show you, I tell Manny this all the time. I'm like, I don't look at anybody because I don't need to, I guess, anymore. We were in a restaurant with our friends. I ran to the bathroom before we all left. And they were like, okay, we'll wait for you outside. They ended up waiting for me inside. And I walked right by them and I exited the restaurant. And they were like, did you just not see me standing there? I was like, I don't look at people. Like, I just don't fucking look at people. But we're honest, and like, he'll tell me that, and like, we laugh about it. But I've experienced what you're asking on the opposite end, where we go somewhere. Should we wait for this?
Nah.
Normal get
Really?
Come join us in the hood.
We're really in the hood. If y'all didn't know.
It's true. We go somewhere, and like, my husband's the sweetest, like, most genuine person I've met. And if he likes, like, if a woman has a kind face, he'll be like, miss, you have such a kind face. I just have to let you know.
Damn, I gotta try that, man.
I've seen people take the compliment in a respectful way. And then I've seen the women who, like, I see the turn. And I see them looking at me. And they know that I'm with him. And they see the turn. Like, I see the turn in them. And then they're like, it's like, fuck you, wife. Like, let me get in this.
I'm down to share.
For those who aren't watching, Dwayne is like humping the fucking air right now. So I've seen that, and it's rude and it's disrespectful, and it's not his fault.
Right.
Because on his end, he's just being a kind person, and they're perceiving it how they want it. You know, that's what they want to hear, so they're acting on that. But yeah, I mean, I've seen it, and it happens. At the end of the day, it's like we're married, we have a kid together, so it doesn't really matter, you know? Or we've seen people, like, I know when we've run into people and Manny's either talked to them or been with them.
Like, well, of course, he told
Because there's
you.
a vibe. He'll tell me afterwards, like, if we run into somebody... Because we don't, like, he doesn't go down a list and he's like, so here's all the women I've been with. No,
Here's the
but
record.
like...
Here's the photo collage.
Right.
Remember that
Like,
extra?
Right. Please don't. That's so disgusting. Oh my God. But like, we run into people and I can usually tell because they act some kind of way at the fact that he's married now. And it's like, let me prove myself kind of.
From the girl
thing.
or
yeah,
Manny?
from the girl.
Okay.
Like, they'll be like, oh, hey, how have you been? So I've been doing this and this and this and this and this. And Manny's like, cool, I'm gonna go finish this hike. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, like, we're honest about it. We talk about it. And if something happens, like, if we're out and, like, the bartender's, like, too kind and I know what he wanted, I'll be like, how funny that this guy was super nice before you got here and now he won't even look at me. And we make a joke out of it.
Real.
We just make a joke out of it because what's there to be hung up about at that point? We have a fucking baby together. Like, I birthed this man's kid. There's, like, you're fucking stuck with me.
She flexing on all you hoes right now. Like, she don't think I know, but I know. Like,
I forgot what I was going to ask you. You keep fucking me up because you keep trying to catch me in something that you're not going to catch me
It's going to
in.
happen.
No,
It's going to happen.
not. It's not. Anyway.
Go ahead. Continue. I'm sorry.
Back to our original question. Mark,
Yes.
you've gone after somebody that was taken. Why?
I'm just attracted to them. I like the vibe. I like the flirting that we do at work.
Monster.
Or whatever.
Damn, you just fuck, man.
So, oh shit.
Snitching on yourself. Like, God.
That would have slipped if you would not have pinpointed that out. I completely like right over my head.
Or school. Girls restructure center. Let me finish, Dwayne. Damn.
I'm trying to save you right now.
I'm interrupting me. Let me finish my thought.
So we all know what's going on now.
Shit.
Mark went after a married woman in high school.
Yeah.
Did.
Did you really?
That's what I heard.
Well, teacher. I think she was married. I'm not sure if she was married. Or, I don't know. But yeah, I did go after the teacher. It was fun. Anyways.
Wait, so it didn't bug you? It didn't make you feel any kind of way that she was with somebody?
No. Nope. Because it's not my concern. That has nothing to do with me. So if I throw it out there and, you know, I see that she's feeling it, I'm going to just keep going until I see the line. And I'm honest throughout the whole way too. I go like, it's cool. We don't have to do this. Like, if you want to stop, I'll stop. And I won't make these jokes, or I won't say these kind of things anymore. And we could just be cool, you know? I say it multiple times just to be sure.
I say it 2 times. After that second time, look.
Hey, that's by the bylaws of whatever. That's what I do. I really want to make sure, like, it's the whole, maybe it comes from like the whole what's going on right now with the Me Too. Like making sure
like
it's like 100% consent.
Yeah.
And I double check, recheck all that shit. If there was a contract, I'd print out the contract, make them sign it. So yeah, it doesn't, because it has nothing to do with me. I completely separate myself from what they're about.
So you don't care about them in a sense, right?
No.
Because I feel like if you cared about that person and they were in this situation or this marriage or this relationship, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and I want to be clear. It's like people I don't know. Like, I have no idea who their significant other is.
Oh, okay.
So like if it's with friends, no. For whatever reason, if my friends get with somebody, they get like completely unattractive to me, like in an instant. If you've ever seen that Scrubs episode, they talk about it. But yeah, it's just because it was to me, it's like if they don't care enough to stop the flirting and all that stuff, then why am I caring about their dude or their person, whatever?
Right. Like it. Okay.
Yeah, because why am I respecting somebody I don't even know?
Dwayne, do you find women less attractive or unattractive if one of your friends is dating them?
Yes.
Really? You guys are good people.
I think maybe because we grew up hearing stories about like just these like friend groups, like just everyone fucking everyone, no matter what. And it was just like, how you call each other friends?
Okay.
Personally, that shit corny to me. But
Yeah, it's just because then those type of people. What they do is they create other groups of friends, and they just keep doing the same thing.
And go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, for me, it was like I don't think we even had the conversation about that shit until way later on. But I just knew for me, like earlier on, it had nothing to do with the level of like if the girl was attractive or not. I personally just didn't want, I didn't want like, cause I've seen girls do this shit a lot. Like girls will like, they'll plant something that's not there just to make a situation that isn't a thing. Like I've seen women like tell their dudes like, oh, like you need to watch your friend, like he was all like looking at me and everything, and it's like what, like, and then like I've seen like he said, we've seen groups of friends like break up.
Yeah,
like
I've had that happen to me.
like, and it's just like word, like, and I'm determined. I'm like, all right, over a girl. At least like if it's gonna happen, like let it be like some shit to it. Don't let it be like, you know, just something that's like,
You have some
said, she
proof.
said.
yeah,
You know?
Yeah.
right. And so that's why. And then of course when we got older, we talked about it, and then we were just like, it just happened that way. Like he got like he had the first like girlfriend in our group, so it was just like, and it wasn't even like a like, damn, look at Mark's chick. It was just like, yep, that's someone that Mark would date. That was it. Like it wasn't like, you know, I was just like, yeah, I wouldn't. Nah, like of course Jay's gay, so he didn't know that. But
Yeah, that would just listen to worry. But yeah, I've actually had that happen to me where like girls try to catch me up like that. Like this is back in the days of AIM. If people do you remember AIM? Because you're younger than us. Okay, so there was back in the day AIM. I had my
Fucking away message.
my girlfriend's screen name right there, right? And I was like messaging her,
Pussy.
and all of a sudden that I don't know why that's pussy. But okay.
just cause, man, it's roll with it.
Rolling with pussy. She the person messaging me all of a sudden were like, oh no, your blank name gave it to me, and like she gave me the screen name, which was weird to me. First of all, like just create your own screen name. And then she started like the girl on the claiming to be someone else was trying to get at me, and I was like, no, like I'm good, and I kept going like I have a friend for you, like I have a friend, just doing that, blah blah blah. And then I finally just stopped messaging her, and then all of a sudden I got a text from my girlfriend at the time, going like my friend saying you're trying to get with her and blah 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 and all this stuff, and my dumbass forgot to like save the conversation that was there for the
Right.
proof, and I was like, what the fuck, like I couldn't even, like, even if I denied it, there's like I have no proof,
Right.
but she has no proof either, and it was just like bullshit. I had nothing to stand on, and I was like, what the fuck, nothing to do, no moves.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I don't think I've ever done that.
You ever,
shitty thing to do.
you ever cheated, Deli?
I have
Damn it, I'm
not.
fucked.
It's okay. It's okay. I have not.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been cheated on,
Hurt people,
right?
Okay.
Yep. What about you guys?
Yes,
You've cheated on somebody?
yes.
Who are you?
You don't know this nigga. Like,
I know how to look it, but like I'm a monster inside.
Mark
I'm not
is a
gonna name it.
fucking dog. That's why you need a fucking strong black woman.
Yep,
She's not gonna put up with that shit.
come to me.
ladies.
Abenequens.
Before we get shit for this, we're not saying that Mark needs a black woman to save him.
Oh yeah, like that Gambino video
This
thing
is all
with Kanye.
fun and
I am.
games. And don't listen to Dwayne. It's my show now.
Yeah, no, we're not saying that. No, we're not saying that.
Why'd you cheat?
It was
Like intentionally?
yeah.
Right? Because
It's not like I forgot. It's not like I forgot. Oh yeah, I got that girlfriend. That's right.
Why am I inside of you right now? Oh shit!
Whatever. I guess I'll finish.
Oh my god!
Not in the moment at all.
I can't stop till I nut though. Like that's the thing.
Like a shark.
Really bad for your health if you don't know. It's like I think that's how cancer happens.
On this podcast, that's how cancer happens.
We don't do research.
Done by
We
all
don't
of
do
our
research.
Go into our last video and see the comments because we got called out for not doing research
Hey guy.
when
Hey.
we claimed to not do research.
Do research, man.
If you got to
Forge.
this point, thanks for listening.
Don't number me to death. I don't care about the numbers. Like I only care about numbers in sports, and even those lie. Don't number me to death.
But it was a weird situation. It was well, not a weird situation. It was just like a very specific situation. It was with a girl that I was trying to get with throughout high school that I just couldn't get with, and then now I just had the chance.
So it was like, I got to take this chance or I'll never get it again.
Exactly, and I never did get it again, which is I'm glad. What? Oh, I thought. Okay. So yeah, I did it, and then it was just the one time, and that was it. But I will say again, that was with I think my first girlfriend, and then when I was with my second, that same girl hit me up again, and this was like very early on, like maybe within the first 2 weeks of me being with my second. I just straight up said no. I was like, I'm good. Like
Right. Was she just kind of coming after you when you were taken? Was that 'cause
Maybe.
people do that?
Yeah,
I've
maybe.
noticed people do that. Like the second that they see that you're with somebody, they're like on you. and they like that,
Yeah.
oh, I can't have you now. Like, now I want you.
Maybe I'm gonna say maybe. I didn't like dive deep and try to try to find out her reasons.
Right.
So I would say maybe, but it probably would have worked on me if I was with any other girl.
That wasn't your second girlfriend?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
What about you, Dwayne? Have you ever cheated on anybody?
No.
Dwayne, you're so fucking boring.
This makes me awesome, man. Like, I'm not gonna do anything because I want to go to heaven. That's it.
He's only saying this because he's currently with somebody.
No,
These are all lies.
Nope. I just want to go to heaven, man. I want to walk in. None of y'all niggas be nowhere near me.
I want to be on the highest peak.
The highest peak. God's like, you had no fun, but you're here.
I guess
You're here
you
now.
enjoy your reward.
You chill with me. I'm like, all right, man.
Fucking stripper heaven.
Yes.
You got those 72 virgins right here.
And then my girl comes, they disappear. I'm like, great.
That's a bag of this shit.
No, wait. Did till death do us part? Right, we died. I get to have my fun. Yay,
See you
loopholes.
later, bitch.
Have fun with you on Earth, peace.
Babe, these are jokes. These niggas is crazy. You hear this?
Sorry if you're listening.
He told us to say all this. You written on a paper and you
No.
gave it. Say these jokes. Work these in
memorized
organically.
this script. I fucking took time to memorize
Guys,
this shit, Dwayne.
guys.
Oh, right. On the end of the paper, don't say this part.
Thank you.
Got
Thank
it.
you. Clearly didn't memorize enough. But yeah, no, never cheated. Yeah, no.
Any particular reason? Is it specific just to her? Do you think?
For my girl?
Yeah.
Like, now, I mean, yes, but also, like I said, I've been, I don't know, that's just, I feel like it's just the way I was raised. And because I was only raised by women. So I have that little, I think, thing in me where it's like, don't do a girl, pause. Don't do, there's no need to do a girl dirty, in my opinion. Like, because if you don't want to fuck with her, don't fuck with her. If you want to fuck with her, fuck with her. Like, I don't get the whole, like, I'm going to fuck with her, but I'm going to fuck with her. And then whoever I end up liking, like, I don't do stuff like that. So,
Even if you're not dating exclusively?
I don't believe in that either.
You don't talk around.
Like I said, it's like, and of course, these are also my, I guess, failures with shit like that because, like, the girl before my girl, it wasn't even a relationship, but I was, like, stuck on her and trying to get her because I felt like me and her were like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, yeah, this is going to work. And then, like, I did fucking passed all the tests, but then she was just like, nah, I was in a relationship, I don't want blah, blah, blah. I was like, bitch, no, but it's me. Like, I'm here now, though. This is how this goes in my
Your worries
mind.
are gone.
I'm here.
Sweep you off your feet.
And yeah, but then that's when I realized that I guess stuff like that doesn't work. So then I was just like, it made me understand people like him a little more.
It's not that it doesn't work, it's just that it doesn't matter. You know what I mean?
Sheesh, Mark. God.
What?
Wait, what
just,
do you mean?
Like, it doesn't matter if you're like this, look at this person, like, not talking to anyone else but me. Oh, well, I don't care. I'm going to still
Now
talk
we
to
about to
everybody
get her.
else.
This where I hold her to the fire, man.
You know, it's just, if it only matters if you like the person, if the person likes you back, but if it's just like a casual liking thing, then it doesn't matter. Like, if someone, like, let's say not you, Dwayne, but like, let's say that situation's happening for like two just random people. If the dude starts going like, but I'm only talking to you, like I like you, or like I'm doing what for you,
okay.
and she goes like, well, I didn't like ask for like, I didn't.
Your choice.
That's your choice,
Yeah.
you know, and she'll just be like, it doesn't matter,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So it's stuff like that. That's like, yeah.
Do you understand, Adelfa, that women have all the power in these like in almost every situation that comes with this shit?
I feel like it's what you make of it. Like, if you let them have all that power, then yeah, because Mark doesn't, which is why...
Wait. What do you mean? That he doesn't?
Like, in the same way that...
Because he's a horrible example.
But he's our factual example. So, off of facts, like the same way Mark can talk to, let's just say, 3 women, and if each of them are like, but I'm only talking to you... If he were to give one of them that power, then they have that power over him, and now he's exclusive with them. But he doesn't give him that power, so he's like, cool, that was your fault.
But
That was your choice. I didn't make you do that. So Mark has the power in that situation. For you, yes, I think you give women that power because you were raised by women, you were brought up by women, so you don't want, in a way, to like let women down. So you approach the woman that you want. You're not like looking to just get fucked, you know? You're like, I want something meaningful. I'm going to go for this. And like, this is it. The power's in your hands now because I'm here. What do you want to do with it? So I think it's what you make it.
pretty much.
And you still didn't get me. Damn.
What? Well, first of all, my track record speaks for itself. Okay, I have none. No, but I'm gonna address both things. For Mark, I feel like he's only this way right now because every girl that he's attempted to fuck with has been with someone.
But the thing is that what he's doing isn't rare. That's more common than the kind of thing that you do. Like, it's more common for guys to be like, that was your choice to just talk to me.
Right.
As opposed to being like, I'm only choosing to talk to you. What do you want to do with it?
Right.
Like, that's a rarity. And Mark has that in him. And
I
I
used-
feel like when
yeah,
it's
I
a
used to
girl
do
that
that.
he wants to be with, it'll be that. But I feel like as much as it's a shit example right now, it's a very real example across a lot of people, not just men, but like women too. So, I don't know. It's what you make of it. It's how you want to handle it, what position you want to put yourself at, too. So,
You're off the hook for that.
I'm saved. Yay, words.
Got your back, Mark.
To address. No, I mean I can go further, but I can't. Pause. To address
That's what you said.
myself, for me,
Sorry.
I've always just the way I guess I think about women. It's more of like because the weird thing about me is I'll focus on just the girl that I want, but then I have these crazy moments of like all these girls is just like hey, and I feel like isn't that if I can turn down all these women and just focus on this one girl, shouldn't that be like isn't that something that's also how can I put this?
Is that giving her power?
To me, no, because it's my choice.
Right. So you have the power in that situation.
Right.
You, the man, has the power.
Because I don't understand how she has the power because I'm making a choice to go
wouldn't.
after her.
I agree. I completely agree. But the original question was that women have all the power, and I said that's not true.
Well, I'm saying in the situations that when it comes to actually dating and shit, like we go as far as like you guys pretty much lead whatever you dictate whatever the fuck we're gonna do, regardless of like whatever. If I know that I'm like, all right, I'm fucking with this girl, but I really like this girl. If that girl gives me the chance, I'm gonna drop the other two girls. If I really like that girl, he's gonna do the same thing. Every dude out there is pretty much gonna do the same thing if he really likes that fucking girl he's trying to get at. But you guys dictate it, so when you guys and some people say playing games or whatever you want to call it, then I feel like that's what makes us be like, all right, then I'm gonna keep doing me. I feel like you guys control whatever happens in these situations.
like the late night text.
Exactly.
So like if you cut it off, then it's like, oh, okay, then no. But if you let it happen, then there it is. It just goes from there.
I still feel like it works both ways. I do. Because you could hit her up first. And then she could hit you up first. And it could be your choice to be like, I'm not answering this shit.
I want. Come on, man. Like
I'm serious.
Come on, man. Like
that's grown shit.
all the fellas out here who are watching this or whatever. Please tell me the time that you hit up the girl and then you got nothing, and you had to do some. And we have to really strategically think about this shit. That's the bullshit.
In case you have to do damage control.
Yeah, that's the bullshit. We got to do like shit where it's like, all right, she could like we have to make these illogical things in our head. Like, nah, she was at work. I could tell. That's why she didn't respond. They're like, nah. Clearly,
He's been hurt before.
but like, yeah, like, but I'm being honest for niggas. Right? Like, this shit happens, okay? And I feel like y'all just get to go on about your day. And then, another cop out that I feel like you guys do is, which is another thing that I don't like, is you guys get on us about the double standard that we can fuck with multiple girls and it's cool or whatever. But I feel like you guys can also hurt multiple men and it's fine. On the justification that, like he said, things like, well, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah, like that was your choice.
And then the whole thing about like you can't get mad at females, can't yell at females, you can't be in your feelings over a female, which is hilarious. Because anytime you get in your feelings over a girl, there's always those girls that are just like, bro, like you look crazy. Like, and it's like I can't feel a certain type of way right now.
But don't guys do that too? Like men do that. Like how many men are like, oh, I dated this girl, she was fucking crazy. Like all their exes are crazy.
But that's different. That's what I'm saying is like, okay, with you and your group of female friends, have you ever like, I know, I man, if you don't tell the truth, have you ever sat around with one of your, or like a whole bunch of female friends and like laughed at a dude's attempt to either get at you or one of your friends or whatever and just see the shit that like we try?
Honestly?
Yes.
No. And I'm speaking honestly because I have very wholesome friends. I don't do that shit. The same way I don't like that, I won't sit around somebody that's gonna do that because that's fucking stupid. And I just would not. If somebody's trying to shoot their shot, it's like, at least he fucking had the balls to do it. I don't do that. And I won't surround myself with people who do that because they're insecure. And you're trying to hide your insecurity by bringing down this guy that A, you don't know, B, is maybe trying to make a sincere attempt to talk to you, and you're just gonna shit on him in a group of friends and then answer him late night, you know? Like I don't fuck with that. So no, I won't do that.
It's like I'm fighting myself and I can't do such bullshit.
I have to say
get
something. Dwayne, you're gonna hate me, but I'm gonna call you out for something.
Okay, go ahead.
We have to stop calling women females.
Go ahead.
Because it's degrading.
Educate me.
Because I was talking to Mark about this. But I remember seeing something that was like, there are female rats, there are female dogs, there are female whatever. But women, you're specifically talking about a woman. And I think women appreciate being called women over being called females. And it's okay. Because I feel like a lot of times people think otherwise. They think the opposite, that women would prefer female.
Right.
But we like to be called women. It's like a strong thing to do.
I just learned something today.
So for all of you who call women females, stop doing it.
Stop doing that.
It's a dick thing to do.
Or girls.
Or
when they're adults.
No. When they're adults, yeah.
I have a boss that does that. Or he's not my boss, but he's like boss of other people. Every time he goes,
Mark, stop pointing people out.
he's not gonna do this shit. He does it to everyone. I feel like it's degrading, but they don't say nothing. But
Yeah.
it's on them.
In my defense of this, I'm gonna just say that in the environment or whatever, it seemed like it was never an issue.
What do you mean?
Like, because in the environment...
What environment?
Like, in our environment, like right now, it seemed like it was never an issue. The things that were always an issue were like, if you call a girl a bitch, that's a no-no. Like,
yeah.
So, but like with female and stuff, that for some reason always was like, you telling me this right now isn't like me like fucking bullshitting for the camera. I didn't know that.
No, and that's good. Because I feel like it's a genuine, like, you didn't know.
Right.
And that's why I'm sharing it. Because I know I've never cared for it, but I didn't realize that, like, a lot of women don't care for it. And I recently found that out. So I'm just as new to finding this out as you are. But the same way I found out, I was like, oh, shit, I want to respect what people want to be called. So
right.
Let me just call women women. and like, you know, do that for people. So I'm trying to put everybody on.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's nothing personal. I love you to death. I know that like you don't mean any harm or foul. You're not like
I don't.
some shitty dude that's like these female whatever. Like
Y'all
I
birds
know
out.
what you yeah, right, like that. So I get it. I'm just like I learned something, so I'm trying to like pass it on.
Y'all dudes out there, stop calling women females. Call them women.
Call them women.
They
We're
are
women.
Call them queen.
Don't do that.
Okay, don't do it. Yes,
Unless they
queen.
deserve it. Unless they deserve it.
There's like so many places I can take this right now.
Go
But it's
ahead.
all gonna be back on just shitting on Mark, which I don't want to do. Because he's the one who's done the most fucked up shit here, apparently. So,
True. I'm a
Mark,
monster.
so wait, would you go after a married woman who wasn't attractive?
my God.
No. No.
Wait, and I'm asking because some people would, out of the sheer fact of like, let me see if I could.
No, I've never been that kind of like just to see if I could, if they're not attractive.
But
Because
if they
there's no
are, you-
there's no incentive for me.
Oh, true, huh?
Yeah, it's just
Okay.
yeah.
But if they are, is that also part of it? Like, let me see how far I could take this with you.
Yeah,
Let me see how far I could like take you away from your husband.
yeah, yeah.
Holy shit!
It's a little bit like a little bit of it is like a power thing, of like just control. It's just I don't know.
That's for all of us though, but it's not.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think it's a primal thing. Yeah.
100%. I feel like that's for all of us. I feel like.
But you wouldn't go after a married woman.
No, but I'm not talking. I was gonna say not in his situation, but I
Sorry,
feel
Mark.
like I feel like we do it in different ways and different things just to see like what I don't know if it's like a measuring stick of what we still are or whatever. And there's, of course, I'm not gonna lie. There's like my last 2 jobs, and I can just talk about my job right now. I go in that office or whatever, and I know at least 4 girls who have called me cute to my face, and I'm like,
You have that thought.
no, it's not the thought of like, I'm like, oh shit, but it's like, okay, I know that I'm still out here popping. That's cool.
Oh.
But I'm gonna go back home. Like that's what I'm talking about. I feel like we all do things to be like we still out here.
Yeah, it's like a little ego boost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, if let's say you go after this woman, she's married, she's attractive, and she goes with it, right? She's like, okay, I like this, you're cool. Does that at some point turn you off? Like if she starts kind of like getting a little...
Attached,
Like if
yeah.
she's catching feelings and you initially went into it just going, let me see if I could fuck you. And
yeah,
then
it
she's like,
does.
oh shit, I really like you.
It does. It takes the fun out of it a little bit. It becomes a little too serious,
Okay.
you know. And it was never that to begin with. It was purely for fun.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay.
Have you ever met a woman that you ended up sleeping with, and they didn't end up liking you after?
Yeah, been with a couple women like that.
That does not include Tinder.
Oh, then no.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Why is Tinder off? Why doesn't Tinder count?
Because those are like Tinder low key is like just consensual prostitution. Like
Well, it
it's
always
low key
paid.
because it's pretty much like I need a service. I also need a service. We can meet here. We can do this transaction and leave. Like
Have you both been on Tinder?
no.
I've never been on Tinder.
Yeah, me either.
Dwayne, high five me, brother.
Air 5. No, do it, Mark. Fuck Mark.
This has become the anti-Mark show. apparently. I'm buying him dinner.
The only
But
reason I'm okay right now.
the only reason I bring that up is because there's a woman here. Do you feel like
I fucking love you.
do you feel like this is a Mark question, but then Adelfa's gonna chime off of it. Do you feel like
Don't tell me what to do.
I'm sorry.
Just
I don't
kidding.
chime.
I don't chime nothing. All right.
Fucking shit!
It's happening again.
Every time you
You better
interrupt me,
chime. You better chime is the thing.
but
My mic dropped again, guys. Go
But
ahead, Dwayne.
okay, so Mark, So, like I said, you've slept with women that ended up liking you, right? That
Yeah.
does not include Tinder, right? You can safely say that.
Yeah.
Okay. So, do you feel like once sex is initiated and it's like it's a mutual like attraction, and then you guys have sex? Do you think once sex is initiated, do you feel like women get attached instantly?
You mean like throughout, like all of them just instantly get attached? Is that what you're saying?
I'm just talking about from your perspective.
I wouldn't say instantly, but it is a big part of it. Because then I think sex it'll magnify all those like flirting, playing around feelings. It intensifies, like it like solidifies it
Right.
into like, oh, this is something real. But I just really think that's a chemical thing of like a whole bunch of oxytocin or whatever in the brain, whatever gets released, and it's
What did
called
I tell you about research, bro?
Oh yeah, sorry. We dumb on this show. And I think they call it the love chemical or something like that. It's the same thing that happens when like you hug somebody
Or you have a baby.
or you have a baby, exactly. And it takes quite like the forward, like it takes a little bit of mental fortitude to be like, it was just sex and that was it. Like there's don't catch feelings, kind of thing. Because I've had moments like that where I've like had sex with a girl and like I know it's not gonna go nowhere, but it feels like in the moment, like, oh, this feels nice and this would be cool if it kept happening. But
Yeah.
you like once like you leave that room or whatever where you were, everything like the real world starts to set back in your mind and you go like, oh no, it was just that one night.
So, what do you think attracts you to these women that are in relationships?
The fact that there's no commitment involved
For you.
for me.
This is just a right now thing, though, right?
Hopefully. I mean, it's not like a thing of like I'm gonna go backpacking in Europe for 2 years and like I'm gonna just fuck around for 2 years kind of thing, and then after these 2 years, then I'm gonna make it serious. No, it's kind of like it just really depends on the people you meet, like, and yeah. I can. It's once you become really honest with yourself, and be like, yeah, it's just I like this person because of this, only because of this, and if you're honest with yourself and you let yourself be like just a little vulnerable, you're like, I really do like this person. I'm gonna keep trying to go with it as far as I can, which I have done before, but it's not in me right now. Like all these women that I meet and I talk to that way and stuff happens, I know it's just a temporary thing.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is if these women weren't in relationships and they were single and you were single, you would not do the same thing with what you're doing right now?
No, if they were single and I was really feeling it, I would do a little bit more of like that courting phase of stuff.
Okay, I guess my question is when you say like when you're really feeling it, what does that mean exactly? It's
hard to. It's just.
You just know.
Yeah, like all of us on this couch have either like are in love at the moment, you two, and then have been in love before in the past, me. So it's just one of those things. Like unless you've never been in love before, you just feel it. You just know. It's just like this instant thing sometimes that you have a connection with somebody right away, and it just feels like you've known them for like a long ass time.
Yeah. And
like all these little things, like all these little stupid little things that you do, they find hilarious, and then like you do them together, and like blah blah blah, this little shit. So it's I can't really put it into words because I feel like it's one of those things where like you read a poem and it's just like or like you see a love movie or a love book and you're like, yeah, that's what it is, but they're all different.
Then what makes you go after these women now? Then like
the ones that are in relationships?
Yeah.
The fact that I know it's not going to happen. I know it's not going to go there.
Is it that, or is it the fact that they have that thing that you just lost, which is the whole love thing?
Ooh.
Oh,
fuck. Yeah, get these niggas in corners, bro. It's so like, come on, man.
Just got hot.
Where's the tissue? I'm about to cry.
I think I was about to nut. I was gonna laugh. Bro.
That's how I express sadness.
Like,
if you ever see me in the street, if you ever see me in the street nutting, it's because I'm sad.
Heartbreak.
Heartbreak, yeah. Maybe. Dang, I never thought of it that way.
Like, are you secretly going to these
my
people who have
God.
like happy homes and ruining
just
it
ruining it?
because
Dang, I'm evil.
you're like you're still mad over your shit? Are you like
Oh
you?
my God.
Damn, maybe.
We need to sit on that.
I didn't have that thought, but I had
I got a cramp.
It's-
Fuck. Oh my god. Yesterday was leg day. Fuck. Oh, okay. Just keep talking. It'll go away. Keep talking.
I haven't had that exact thought, but I've had the thought of like maybe I'm doing this because I'm recreating what happened to me when I was a kid,
Whoa.
which was and I'm recreating it in the sense of I'm the bad guy now, which is the like. While I was a kid, my parents got divorced. The dude came in and blah blah blah. But like I think I'm playing the role of that dude that comes in. I've had that thought, but like at the end, like I don't know. It just seemed far fetched to me.
Is it the idea of making somebody feel what you felt in order to validate what you felt?
That's what I think it is, man. Being honest, that's what I think it is.
Oh my goodness.
Maybe it is, but like I don't like go like I'm gonna go and make people
I know.
feel the way. That's the thing.
Right.
It's a very subconscious
Right.
thought if it is that.
The only reason I had the line of questioning like that is because you being my boy and watching from afar, I would see you get in these situations, and I'm like, if he literally just did the exact same shit and just added it to a single girl that he liked, it would happen the same way. I don't understand why he does all this shit that you're supposed to do for the single girl, but you do it for the girl who's in the relationship. But then when it comes to the single girl that you like, and I've seen you do these things where it's like, if it doesn't happen the way you want it to happen, you instantly back out. And you're like, nope, fuck this. It's a waste of time. But I'm like, you spent all that time doing the dumb shit to get the married girl. And I'm so confused. And I'm like sitting there like...
I think it's the commitment thing. Like, I don't think Mark wants to be committed to somebody right now. And I think knowing that someone else is single, it's leaving opportunity open for it to be more. And maybe you're not ready, maybe you don't want it, maybe it's whatever, but it's still open, as opposed to you knowing that, like, honestly you don't know, but like that they won't leave their husbands or they won't leave who they're with.
Yeah, it's the fact that like if they were single, fuck, I can't say that word.
Single?
That's weird. Single.
the word single just made... Sing?
It would be a lot tougher conversation if they were single to back out of it, to not commit.
Because you don't want to hurt them.
Yeah, that, and then also because like if that conversation with the person that's like married, it's very like, well, you have a dude, and I don't want you to like leave him. I was just like, and I could just back out a lot easier.
This goes back to Adelfa's point. So then didn't you just give the woman the power?
No, I
because he's basically saying make the choice. Like, fuck me or stay with your family.
But they're doing both.
So, like, that's kind of like what I'm talking. Like, don't they have all the power still in this situation?
No, because I'm the one that's controlling. Like, I'm dictating what's happening.
I feel like Mark is like puppet master in that situation, because the same way he's in it, like he knows what he's doing. He's controlling her in the sense of like, I'm going to figure out what you like and I'm going to get you to fuck me. And then...
Not that vulgar.
Once... not that... You know what I mean.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
You're all grown. It's like, I'm going to get what I want out of it, but then I'm also going to know how to maneuver my way out of this shit when you start catching feelings.
Yeah. So, like,
so he's still on top. Like, he's still... he's still...
He is.
He still knows what he's doing. He knows the outcome. He knows how to get there. He knows how to get what he wants out of her. So he's still in control.
Yeah,
because he wants to be.
I think what you're saying, Dwayne, is that I do give them a little bit of power, but it's power that I can control, I guess. If that makes sense. Like, it's not gonna... Like, I'm not giving them all the power, which is the other one where I'm like, I'm only talking to you. That's when you're giving, like, all the power.
Right, but that's also when you just like someone.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Twain's like, I'm a good guy.
Like,
I know so good.
I just want this all to be in the video that I'm a good person in this whole situation.
It's true. It's funny because like throughout our whole friendship, you were always seen as the asshole.
Yep.
Just based on
And
nothing.
I still am.
Yeah.
And I still am.
And I've always been seen as the nice person that like you think I'm your friend. I'm not.
And Mark's
I don't
fucking
like
your
you.
wives.
Yep.
That's really what's going on.
And I don't.
What a weird rep I have.
And that's the crazy part.
Yeah,
I'm the first of all, I wouldn't take your girl home. She can find her own ride. But if she needed it,
there's Uber.
Yeah, I would sit there and wait for the Uber. Like, but if she needed it, I'm the friend that's gonna take your girl home. She's gonna be fine or whatever, right? Mark,
No, I would. The friend thing. That's where like I do have like lines. So the friend thing, it's yeah. Like I would give a ride just because I'd feel too bad to leave someone just stranded somewhere if I knew they had no one else to take.
and then
home.
I'm gonna fuck them. That's all you need to know. Like, that's all you need to know.
Don't befriend me. Warning. Don't befriend Mark.
Once you're in, you can't leave. You can't. Like, he's gonna fuck
Like
your girl.
Adelfa said, I am a puppet master. Jeez.
But there's so much.
Guys, so we forgot what we were talking about, and I'm going to take this moment to say something that I want everybody to take note of.
Here we go.
Dwayne and I had that thing earlier where I told him something, or like I guess I taught him something, and Dwayne so kindly took it as a lesson and worked on it immediately to not do the thing that he knows might offend somebody. And I want to make note of it because it's so important for many reasons, but one of them being like you taking a note from a woman, which some people would be like, fuck that, do what you want. But B, it's like a good wholehearted thing to do, and I want to acknowledge it. I think you're so awesome, and I'm proud of you, and it's great to be able to like meet an adult that can be like, oh cool, thanks for letting me know, and move on. So good on you. Stop crying. Don't be a bitch about it.
He's gonna cry in the car.
Again, this is just growing up with women, and I just
It's so cool though because we don't get that. Like you don't get that from people. Everybody wants to be right all the time. Nobody can accept a fault. Nobody can do any of that. So I'm so glad that we can talk about shit like that and then move past it, and it doesn't affect anything. You're not hurt. I'm not hurt. We're not bothered.
Yeah, I think most people
And it's
would have.
awesome.
Most people would have argued, like,
Nah,
no, but
it's cool though.
Yeah, but like I meet her respectively, so like it should be
Right.
fine, and blah blah blah.
And you didn't. And like I think that's so awesome.
because I'm not a woman. Like,
That's
the
so
clearest.
awesome.
I'm not a woman.
And that, I
wouldn't
feel
know.
like this is gonna turn into a whole nother thing, but like that's a big issue. And I feel like with a lot of what's going on is that there's men wanting to tell women how to feel and what they feel and what's right and what's wrong. And you did the polar opposite. And it's such a good lesson, and it's so good to see and good to hear and good to know, because if you can do it, there's no excuse as to why anybody else can't.
Even if you're old,
Even if you're fucking 97,
I hate that excuse.
yeah, I hate that shit. They're old, what do you expect? I expect you to be a fucking human being and hear when someone's telling you did something wrong and fix it. And just kudos to you, Dwayne. All respect to you.
Thank you. Fuck Mark.
Mark, we love you. Today has been so hard on you. It's been like the fucking worst hour.
You
and a
gotta
half.
keep it going.
I feel
That's
like it's the
thing.
funnest show though. I'm having so much fun.
Oh well, since
Mark
we're here
is
now,
so sad.
since we're here now, and we're talking about women, let's just to jump right in. Then the whole Me Too movement. If we're gonna jump in, we're tiptoeing around shit. Let's just get into it.
This is a whole new podcast.
And
The topic is bring it on.
With the Me Too movement, is it okay? Question one: is everything a legitimate concern with the Me Too movement? So that means everything that's been brought up with that movement, is it legitimate, or is it some things are just agenda based? Two: do you think that women are using this as a crutch for personal gain?
For personal gain?
Yes.
In terms of
whatever they want to gain from it. If it's
Attention.
notoriety, if it's money, if it's
so to answer your first question, is it legitimate? I think this is going to sound controversial, but I'll explain it. I think it's case by case. I think more cases than not, it's legit. But then I think about cases like Aziz,
that was
where
trash.
Aziz was accused of, sexual misconduct or like abuse or whatever it was. And it turns out that everything was consensual. She was upset that he didn't call her back or whatever.
Pretty much.
He ate her out and then he asked to get blown and she said no. And then he, I guess, got upset, told her to leave, and she took it personally. Whatever the case was, it wasn't a rape situation. And it was found out that somebody was searching for a story on Aziz, and so I hear these things and I'm like, you're fucking it up for women who are really going through shit, who are really abused, who are really raped, who are really traumatized by doing things like that, because it makes these questions come up on, is it legitimate? Is it something of concern? Are you sure you're not trying to get attention? Are you sure that, whatever the case is? I don't think that the cases that are coming up that are legit, I don't think it's for attention, because all the attention that all these women are getting, more times than none, it's negative. Because everybody's on the guy's side. No, he didn't do that. Are you sure that you didn't, it's that. Are you sure that you didn't look into it? Are you sure that what were you wearing? And what about this? So I don't think it's for attention, because what is there to gain about saying that you were raped? That's a serious thing, and it's a serious trauma, and it's, I don't know. I hope not. I don't know.
Just to piggyback when you said, one, I disagree that everyone's on the guy's side, because from what we've seen, every guy has been already just proven guilty before any sort of Aziz was dragged before even the whole thing came out, and it's been like that constantly. There hasn't been one male figure that I can think of, at least, who hasn't been nope, he did that.
But I don't think that they're not on the guy's side as in I'm rooting for you, but the women who come out then
They get questioned.
Right.
They get reprimanded in different ways, whether it's, cool, I'm not going to have her on this show if she's going to be an issue.
Right.
I'm not going to hire her for this if this is going to be an issue. And I think that doing that shows that you are on the opposing side. You're siding with the abuser if you're oh, well, I can't really trust you because you're going to bring some issue into my business and my set and my whatever. So that's what I mean by that. Okay.
And then just to clarify, when I talk about every issue being legitimate, I'm not only speaking of the instances where these people are bringing up rape situations, things like that, because that's something where that's nothing to be played with. If you've taken advantage of a woman like that, piece of shit, straight up. There's no sort of redeeming quality about you. But I'm talking about more of the situations like the Aziz thing, situations where, I guess a gray area would be, we just talked about Mark, and then I'm not gonna show you, but we talked about Mark, and Mark, or we talked about late night texting and things like that. There's a lot of instances with this whole Me Too thing where it's completely, you're just getting the woman's side of the issue, and they talk about inappropriate text being sent and things like that, but we don't get the whole situation and things like that, where I'm is this a legitimate thing? Because going back to, I guess, before the Me Too movement, I feel all this stuff was seen, sans rape, was seen as normal stuff.
Normal flirtatious stuff.
Right. Snapchat was made for this, pretty much. it was like, of course they're not gonna say that, but it was, as soon as it came out, it was used for stuff like this.
Yeah, to send nudes.
Right, and do all kind of wild stuff. And as soon as the Me Too movement came, it was like everything that like everyone had been, I guess, accustomed to or doing that came with this regular like dating and flirting and stuff turned into like, it's an issue. I don't want this. And there was situations where I'm like, as a male, I guess, how are we supposed to, and of course I'm not saying, you know, how am I supposed to send a dick pic? No, I'm not trying to say that, but it's like, how are we supposed to navigate through this if I am like Mark trying to date someone and I don't really know what I'm supposed to do in these situations? Like, if I feel like she's flirting with me and like it's getting to a point, do I take it the extra step? Do I wait? Because then there's situations where if we don't take an extra step, then they get, you know, they're not interested, or it's like we're looked at as like, you know,
or if you ask, then it kind of, they go like, oh, why'd you ask? It takes all the romance out of it and like shit like that.
Because it seems like the things that like were just normal things, like apparently now it's like it's wrong to go up in a club and like start grinding on a girl, but
because that shit sucks.
Don't
do that.
Right. But the thing that was weird to me was I was like, wait a minute. I like, sadly, I'm in a lot of clubs, but
stop going to these clubs,
man,
when you hate them.
But look, like a part of me don't like it, but then like when we go to Black Ones, is lit, and I'm in there. Boy,
you love to dance.
I do, which that's weird. So I see situations where, prime example, 2 weeks ago, we were in a club, and this female. Damn it! This woman was dancing with a gentleman, and she was dancing with him, and she was sticking her ass out, and she was like, dudes who would walk by, she would throw it back on them. And then there was the one situation where I was like, oh, this dude's a fucking weirdo, where this dude was like way in the back. And legit, it was like a movie. He just kept getting closer and closer and closer,
flash
and closer and closer. And then legit, no lie, it was like she stuck her ass out, and then it was like a snake. He just like crept up on her and grabbed her, and she was like, nah. And she like pushed him off and everything and backed off. And I was just like, wait a minute. Not giving him any benefit of the doubt because he was weird. But I'm like, if he is a somewhat normal person, he just watched this happen a couple of times. He's like, what's wrong with me doing it now? You know what I mean? Like, these are situations where I'm like, is it a Me Too thing? Is it like, is it a normal thing now? What is it exactly? Like, what can we do as men to get y'all attention? Because everything seems like it's a bad thing now.
This is a very layered question.
There's so much shit.
The thing is, I feel like what was considered normal was not never, but like it was so male dominated. And that poses an issue because there's no consent, there's no say on the other end, because when he came up to that girl, he made that choice to get up behind her.
Right.
And that's her body. And maybe she didn't want to be touched by him. Like, I feel
she clearly did not.
If you're in a club and you're dancing with your girl and you're kind of like turning and some girl like accidentally walks by you and like brushes against your dick, right? And some other girl sees that and goes, oh, he's okay with that, and comes up to you and grabs your dick, what would you do?
I'm pushing her the fuck out of her.
That's the same situation that you described, where you're like, well, why is it wrong when she does it?
Right.
So, I got you. I think as much as it sucks to ask continuously, there's going to be some... I think when you're dealing with women of a certain maturity, of a certain age, of a certain, like, power, when she's a powerful woman and you ask her something like that, I feel like if she's mature enough to be like, look, I completely understand why you're asking and I appreciate it, and like, I'm good, we're good, like, let's go. Instead of taking offense, instead of being like, oh, you're killing it. Like, this isn't a fucking 1990s movie. What do you want fucking roses and it's not like, and it's a hard time to be a guy right now. Like, I get that, and I'm not discrediting that. I completely get it, because I feel like, I think what you guys feel is like you're being stripped of your masculinity.
Yeah, that's across the board on everything.
And I feel like for us, it's like, oh, we finally have a say. We can finally tell you no.
Right.
You know how scary it is to know that, like, there have been men who have approached a woman, she says no, they come back and shoot her in bars and clubs in New York City parades. You can literally look this up, that women have rejected men and they can't take it and they will hit her. Like, I saw a video of these two girls at Target having a fucking, like, soda or something. And the guy comes up, he talks to them, they reject him. He literally punched the girl in her face for saying no. Girl at a bar tells the guy no, he comes back with a gun that same night, kills her. Girl at a parade in New York, guy comes up, dubbing on her, behind her. She pulls away, he pulls a gun out and kills her. So when you guys are like, what do we do? And we're just like, we just want to be able to say no and not get killed. We want to be able to say no and for you to be like, cool. I'm going to be fucking mad about it. Like, if a girl, both of you guys, if you bring a girl home, right? You guys had a date, you guys had a great night, you know you're going to fuck. Like, it's been clear all night. Mm. You both are in bed with no clothes on. And she says to you, look, I'm really sorry, I can't do this. As mad as you would have been, would you have kept going?
No.
Right? But that's not every guy. And I've had that happen. So I know that feeling of like, what am I going to do right now? Because I said no and you said, cool, well, I'm going to do this. And so as much as like men right now are like, well, we can't do anything. It's like you have to understand what women have been through for all these years of just being dehumanized and belittled and treated as like fucking animals. Like we're just bodies.
Right.
For so long that we're finally like, I can't do this anymore. Like there are women who are being raped on set. There are women who are being like touched inappropriately on set. There's women at corporate jobs who are like being harassed and belittled and like talked down to. And that's the norm. So now that we're speaking up, it's like, yo, I just want to be left alone. Like, just leave me alone. Like, treat me like you would treat another human being. Treat me like you treat a guy or like how you want to be treated, you know? So it's a tough thing. And like, I get on your end, on the guy's end, where it's like, it's a tough moment right now, but you have to understand that it's been a tough maybe year and a half because that's when the Weinstein stuff came out.
Yeah.
But it's been a tough fucking lifetime for women in general. Like, we're just now getting a break. And we've all been around the same amount of time. And we're just now going, can you please not grab my boobs at work? Please, I am begging you. So when it becomes tough and when you feel like, what do we do? Is it legit? Is she being honest? I would rather you sit there and go, you know what? It's cool. I'll be fine. And it takes a strong man to do that. To just be like, I get it. Like, you know, you've been through shit and it's fine. I want no parts of it.
I think it goes back to what you guys were talking about in the beginning of the podcast, where if a black guy is dating a white girl, what? Oh, I guess it's an African American is dating a white girl. You said like the white girls that are actually into like them, why can't I just like them? They still got to eat the shit for a little bit,
right?
Because of the other side of things, right? And how it's just whatever. Like you have to go through that adjustment period,
right?
Same thing. That exact same concept just applied to this situation where like men, all the good ones out there, like you just got to eat the shit right now, and you know pay the price for for the ancient man that just did all that shitty stuff. You know, we just got to pay the price right now so that future generations could. It could just be normal, and it's not like this confusing time. And what do we do? And blah blah blah. It's just going to be a new standard, basically.
And I feel like if you're a good dude, and I feel like you both are good dudes, like there's a part of you that gets it. You know, like as hard as this is to kind of deal with on both ends, like you get it. You get what's going on. You get that it's fucked up. And there are guys that are like, well, she's probably lying anyway, without giving them the benefit of the doubt. And another, like, just to, it's tricky, but in a way, it's like you see how black people are trendy now, and we can't even have that.
Right.
That's what we feel like when people are like, what if she's lying? Where we're like, we can't have this. Like, we've been abused for how many years? And taken advantage of and all this stuff, and like we're finally going, no, fuck you. Like, I can handle mine. I don't want to be touched. I don't want to be in this situation. And like we can't even have that, you know? So I feel like, I don't know, I hope that people can look at that and just, like Mark said, like handle your shit differently and like be a man about it, I guess. Like,
right. So I do
deal with it, you know?
I do maybe sometimes overly ask, but I'd rather overly ask than be wrong on the other end, you know?
Right, and you're not losing sleep over it.
No, exactly, yeah.
There we go. Where there's tons of women losing sleep over the fact that, like, the guy didn't ask or asked and didn't care.
Right.
Like, and it goes to show you, like, you're a mature adult, you're a good dude. And when you're with a mature woman who's also a good person and is interested in you, you'll know, she'll know.
Yeah.
You'll ask, it'll be consensual, and you're good. And then there's nothing to worry about.
I will say that it does feel awkward at first, especially if you're not used to asking stuff like that. It is going to feel awkward, but just keep doing it and it just becomes normal.
Yeah, and everybody knows what's going on. Everybody's reading the news. Everybody's on Twitter. Everybody's on Instagram. It's okay to be like, listen, I want to make sure we're on the same page throughout this whole thing. I'm going to ask you now, like, are you cool with this going further? If she says yes, then just be like, at any point in time, it is okay to tell me no. And that's it. Give her that option, because that's what women have not had for so long, is the option to say no. Yeah. And that's troubling. Like, that's really troubling. And that's it. Like, if you don't want to ask all the time, just be like, yo, seriously, it's okay to be like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to see you. I don't want to talk to you right now. It's okay. Because you guys do it. Like, yeah. You know? So I feel like, you know, it's a mature thing to do. It's the grown-up thing to do. Just roll with it. You're going to adjust how you approach a woman, and you're not going to lose sleep over it. She'll appreciate it. You'll feel better. You know you're not harassing somebody.
Yeah. And if you get rejected, don't take it as a personal offense. Just move on.
Because nobody owes you anything.
Yeah, in your head. Yeah, say it.
In your head, curse her out and like whatever. But
change
she
the story with
doesn't
your
owe
friends
you
that
anything.
she hit on you.
Right. That's what Mark.
That's all that really matters. What your friends think.
I've always been a big consent person. It was before all of this because of my race. And I was taught by like my grandparents at a young age that stuff like that, like, you will get accused of stuff. So you need to protect yourself. And like any situation with a girl, if she ain't cool with it, that's it. She just not cool with it. And so like I've been the like pretty much like Mark the overly corny nigga and been like, can I kiss you? And you know, like girls have been like, why'd you ask? And just like, hey, what do you want me to do? Like, all right, because
not taking that chance.
I'm not like, and I feel like that is something to where it's easy if you have been doing it.
Yeah.
But I guess to just make a small point, there's also a section of women who are completely cool with the other, which is like they want all that. They want basically what's been happening. So, like, what's the, I guess, are they in the wrong for wanting that? Or,
Wait, wanting what?
like,
They want to not be asked. They want that person to just go ahead and kiss them.
they want,
to be grabbed.
Yeah,
or-
they like the dude grabbing them. They like the guy just coming up behind them and start grinding on their ass. They like all that shit.
They like that move, basically. Are
I
they?
don't think they're wrong for it. I think that's their choice. But I feel like
You don't feel like it hurts the Me Too movement?
I don't think so, because I feel like the Me Too movement is for the women who have been in those situations. And they're all standing up with each other and they're going, me too, here's my story, I've been through this, I'm standing with you in solidarity, I get it, I'm there with you, we're traumatized, let's fucking deal with this shit together. There's a women empowering or empowerment movement too, where it's like giving women the control and giving them the option to decide what they want, which I feel like, I don't think one hurts the other. I feel like they're two different things. So like that girl that likes that, you'll know.
It won't be a secret. Like, you just stumble upon it.
I feel like you'll know. Yeah, like you know when somebody's iffy. And I feel like that's also like, be in tune, like be fucking in tune and look at her and pay attention, because if you're about to do something, you'll feel hesitation. You'll fucking feel that shit. And like you have to be okay with yourself enough to be like, I'm just gonna step away from this shit. Like, you don't feel cool right now. This isn't going the way I thought it was gonna go. This doesn't feel romantic. I don't feel like this just does not feel good. It's not comfortable. I'm gonna exit. And be okay with that. But I feel like so many guys are so insecure about that shit because they think it's them, or they're afraid that like, whatever, it's cold, they have shrinkage, whatever, they can't handle it. And they just wanna like prove themselves. And that's that insecure, toxic masculinity that's taking over instead of that confident man that's like, you know what? Maybe not my night. I'm gonna step away. So I feel like you'll know when it's the girl that wants you to fucking grab up on her and like, you know? Wasn't there a Louis episode or a fucking skit where he was like, she was telling me like, you know, I wanted you to go for it. And he's like, I'm not like gonna tune into a rapey vibe here. Like, I'm just gonna make sure that you want me. And you won't be wrong for being that guy, right? God.
It's a nice compromise.
I'm not gonna rape you, just let me jerk off in front of you. That's it.
You can leave anytime you want.
Anytime you want. You
Doors
can
open.
leave.
Doors open.
But yeah, I think that's what's going on. I feel like all of the good men out there who have shitty friends, talk to your friends, tell them not to be those guys. And like, it doesn't take much to be a good person. There's two good men sitting in this room who have never sexually abused anybody or harassed them. Fuck. It's off.
It's off.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
I don't hear
Hey.
No, it's on.
Really?
Talk.
Hello?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
Oh, okay. I can't.
Maybe it's just headphones.
Sorry, guys.
Keeping it.
Let me punch in with this. Do you feel like women should be the ones to go for stuff now? Like, do you think they have to ask? Because I feel like for men, like they don't care about being asked.
Wait a minute.
Don't care
Hold
about
on.
being asked.
Yeah, like if a girl wants to kiss them, like they don't
care.
women don't have to ask. They could just go for it and it'd be like fine.
Nah, we care. Because I think you're thinking about it from the single.
Yeah, I'm thinking about it from a single perspective.
Yeah. Don't do that. Please don't do that.
Do not do that to
Do not
Dwayne.
do that.
I think whoever it is, like, I feel like that's what should also be spoken about more, is that like, not only women get raped, men get raped, men get sexually harassed, men get sexually assaulted. So like, I think it should work on both ends, where like, just make sure that what you're doing, all parties involved are okay with. it just so happens that out of the fucking 400 accusations, 390 of them have been men. So kind of a trend there.
For
There's
now,
a chance.
the narrative, I'm telling you.
Right. It's a tough thing. We're in a different time. But please understand that, like, this is maybe the first real time that women are, like, taking their power back. And by their power, it's like their bodies.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously when Weinstein's whole
When what?
Weinstein?
Oh, yes.
When he ended up, being pretty much brought to, everything that he did was brought to the light and everything like that. There was a section, I guess, of the like men, but also there was women in it too who had the perspective of a lot of these situations were situations that it looked like the woman, the consent was the woman agreeing to do it for said role or for said...
That quid pro quo shit?
Right.
It's not okay to do that, though.
Right, but I guess my question is... goes back to like the whole question of the whole Me Too thing. Do you think... Because I guess...
Let me put a scenario out there. Outside of the Weinstein thing, if this person that has the power to give you something instantaneously without having to go through like the red tape, if he says, if you sleep with me, you get this part instantaneously. If you don't, I'm not going to stop you from getting this part, but you're going to have to go through the regular process. And I'm going to leave it up to like my people in charge. They're not going to know anything about this. But you have those two options. Is it still wrong? Like, is it if she does accept that, is it all of a sudden like oh my God, I can't believe he did that thing? Or
is it a Me Too thing at that point?
I feel like that would be her choice, but I feel like with the Weinstein thing, like, he was such a prick that he would basically just be like, if you don't fuck me, I'll make sure you never work. And
right.
That's instilling fear in somebody. And that is, like, that's scary. Because you're fucking with somebody's money, you're fucking with their livelihood, you're fucking with their careers. Like, you can easily take away their life. And not literally, but like everything that they've worked hard for, everything that they have and everything that they could have, you're going to take it away if she doesn't want to sleep with you. And that fear, like, you don't know if people need to feed families or like you don't know what somebody's going through. In that instance, if she says yes, you have to understand that that's the same fear that is instilled in somebody when they're like, I don't know, harassed on the street or like somebody's fucking kidnapped. And like, it's that same fear of like, I have, like, if I say no right now, I'm gonna lose so much. And that's not okay. If it's something like what Mark said, where it's like, by whatever
right,
grace
I'm not.
of
It's
God,
never gonna
it's
happen
like,
because
hey, I got you if you blow me. But if not, it's totally cool. We're gonna be great. You just have to like wait in line. It never happens. Yeah. But if that was somebody's actual choice and it was legitimate and they were like, man, you're kind of cool, I'd fuck you. That's your choice. Do what you want. Get ahead. Fuck it. But like, that's rarely it. It's never really their choice when they're in that situation. It's like, do this or lose everything. And sometimes your life.
Yeah.
So...
It was just with the whole movement, there's like, it's pretty much like everything else when it first starts off. There's situations where there's stuff that is really substantial, and then there's things where it's such an odd gray area that it makes you then, because I feel like not every woman that brought something to light was just shut down. I feel like it started to lose its steam when it was like things like the Aziz thing or things where I don't know if you guys remember the whole Morgan Freeman thing where it didn't make any sense. But they were doing, it was an interview for a movie that he was doing with two other.
Was someone trying to do like gotcha journalism while he was doing press for a movie? Is that what happened?
What's gotcha journalism?
Like they're supposed to be talking about the movie, but then they go like, some woman accused you, and there he's like, what the fuck? Like this?
No. It wasn't even like that. It was yeah, God. But the situation was basically, the woman. I don't know if she just recently had a kid or something like that. He had made a comment that was about either her as a mother and everything, and he was like, it was just like it. The way she took it, it was sexual. And then, like, everyone tried to get Morgan Freeman out of here for, like, a good, like, day or two. But if you looked at the interview clearly, it wasn't even, like, a sexual thing. It was legit. He said something in response to her bringing up something. That was it. It wasn't like the interview, he's, like, you know, looking at her and all. That was it completely. And then when, like, stuff like that keeps happening and keeps popping up, that's when I feel like the movement was losing steam, because now it's like, going back to what I was saying, it's like anything you do that a woman feels like
they just don't like.
They don't like now is an issue of like, oh, I don't like this. So you're trying, you know, toxic male masculinity. I'm gonna throw this out here and things like that. That's where I feel like it was weird. There's also a chick that used to work for ESPN. I think her name is Adrienne Lawrence. She was an anchor. She's also a lawyer. But with her situation, there was a guy who's still on the air, John Butchergross, who he was like her mentor, and he would help her and things like that. But he started to, you know, do things that guys do when they're trying to get at a girl. He was like started to call her little things, whatever. From the text like log that we saw, she was completely cool with it. And then
wait, what was she doing that was completely cool with it?
Like she was going along with it. There was no like instances of like, I'm not comfortable, like stop or things like that. It was fine. It wasn't until which again, I don't know why this happened the way it happened, but she pretty much showed her text log, and it made him look crazy, because like at one point it was like the conversation, then he'll say like, oh, catch you later. Like he'll call like some kind of weird pet name or whatever, which we don't know the context to or anything like that. And then like the next set of text messages, there's like a weird picture of him shirtless, but it's not even like I don't even know like what it was or anything like that. But it wasn't like sexual. It was just like a joking picture of him shirtless. But the way it like reads, it's like he's coming on to me. He provided the other half of the messages. It made a lot more sense. Ever since then, that situation has not been brought up. And he's still on the air, and he just got completely washed away. But those situations where I say those things like, is it an agenda thing? Or is the thing where it's like, because she was fired from ESPN way before this came out. So, like, people looked at it afterwards like, should we believe her? Or is she upset because she got let go and she feels like it's because of this?
I feel like it's important to look at like the power that he has as a mentor, as somebody who was probably there before her. Mm-hmm. And that too, like maybe at some point she was like, I feel like I can't say no.
She has to play along.
Right. Because there's that power, like somebody has power over her, you know? And I think it's important to look at that in those situations, like who has the power here? And it goes back to giving the benefit of the doubt, where it's like you kind of have to give her the benefit of the doubt that at some point she was like, I really don't want this shirtless picture of you.
Right.
I really don't want this dick pic. Like, let's just not. But if she says that, it can hurt his ego, you know? So it's like the same way that you're saying, like, some women can be hurt and then just call it out and, like, you know, claim Me Too movement. I feel like men do that shit all the time. Like, they're hurt because she didn't respond the way that, like, he wanted her to, and then it becomes, like, this thing. But you guys have no place to, like, put it right now. Now
Right.
you're just complaining. Where we have this thing where it's like, yeah, I agree because I've been through that and I'm with you. But it's the same thing. Like, it's the same thing as I mean, not the same thing because it's much safer, but like,
Right.
it, they're literally, like I said, guys who are like, oh, you said no to me, I didn't like that, and I'm gonna do this to you. Like,
Yeah, like he'd
all
block his
we're doing
career.
is being like, hey, this guy's a little inappropriate, just a heads up. You know? And it's okay to not like shit like that. It's okay. Like, you're gonna be fucking fine. Your life does not end if a girl does not like what you said, doesn't like a dick pic, doesn't like a shirtless pic, doesn't want to go out with you. Like, you're fine. So when we have a place to put it, when we have somebody to sit there and be like, yo, I fucking feel you, and people get upset with women, or it becomes a like, I don't know, maybe she's out for something. It's like, come on. Like, I just want you to know that, like, I did not like that. And I should be able to say I didn't like that without it being anything. Like, it should just be end of conversation. Cool, I won't do it again. Now we know. And not have it be anything past that. And like I said, it's not something that people are accustomed to. It's a whole new way of life for a lot of people. But you just have to fucking deal. Like, it's not the end of the world. And I feel like it feels like that sometimes because men are so used to being in charge and used to having the power and used to doing whatever the fuck they want for so long that they don't know what to do right now because they're not in control and they can't handle that. Instead of rolling with it and being like, you know what, maybe it's a good thing that women are like, nah, I'm really not cool with this because now I'm not making somebody uncomfortable. Now I'm not traumatizing somebody. And I feel like me and my husband were talking about there are people who are going through shit like, let's just say, for instance, there's a girl that's uncomfortable and she's in this situation and the guy wants to have sex. She doesn't want to, but they do anyway because she's scared. Would he have seen that as raping her? And a lot of the times, guys don't see that as raping. They're just like, well, you know, maybe she was like nervous. And that's an issue. That's an issue. Because we're not listening. And I feel like now that we're forcing people to listen, now it's like, ugh, can't fucking do anything. You know?
So what in that scenario too? If the woman is not saying anything, and then they say it afterwards, what do you do as the man in that situation? Like, do you? Because the only really thing I can think of is just like, okay, I won't do that again. But like, you know, like you felt like in your head, like maybe you convinced yourself like, oh damn, I'm being the man tonight, like it's definitely gonna happen, and it did. But then later she goes like, actually I didn't want that to happen, but she never said it at all, and there was no like body language. There wasn't even like maybe a hint of nervousness. What do you do like afterwards? Because you know, like if you're a good guy, then that makes you feel like shit.
It does, and I feel like if you're a good guy and she tells you afterwards, that hurt and that like feeling that you'll get, that like apologetic, like, yo, I'm really sorry, like I wish you would have told me. It will never happen again. We don't have to ever speak again. Like, I get it. I'm sorry. I fucked up. I wish we could have had this conversation. I feel like that, and I'm gonna, you know what? I would appreciate that. And I'm gonna speak for me. Because maybe that's not enough for some women, but me personally, I would have been like, yeah, like I'm sorry I didn't say anything. Like I felt uncomfortable. I didn't feel like I could say no. And like I at least appreciate you having enough of a heart to feel some kind of like bad about it. And I would appreciate that. And I feel like that's even rare, you know?
Yeah.
I remember, and this is like complete, like, I think, I don't know, I can count on one hand the people that know this. But I think the first time I was ever with someone, I was like laying down and I was like, you know what, I don't want to do this. Like, let's save it for like another time. And that was my way of trying to get out of it. Like, I was like, you know what? Maybe if I say this, it'll, like, ease it into, like, let me amp you up for, like, maybe next time. And I was like, let's just save it. Like, let's save it. He was like, no, it'll be quick. Don't worry about it.
That's a weird brag.
And just went in for it. And at that point, I was like, oh, you're just not going to take no for an answer. So anything else I say doesn't matter because all you want right now is a body. You don't care about me. I'm not a person to you. You just want to fuck. And afterwards, I was like, I want to go home, and I was crying and I felt violated. That was my first time being with somebody. And there was nothing there. There was nothing, there was no heart in that person. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I feel like had there been a fucking second of like, are you okay? Like, are you good? I'm like, was you feeling all right? And I feel like I would have been like, no, like I'm not okay. You literally just raped me.
Yeah.
Because I said no and you just did not give a fuck. You did what you wanted. You took advantage. And so for me, had there been some kind of fucking heart of like, look, I'm really sorry. It was not my intention. That's not me. I promise you, like, whatever. And in that case, had I not said anything and then there was that apology after, I would have been okay. So, I don't know. I'm speaking from experience on that end. So it's a tough thing. It's a tough thing, and that's why I'm like, I rather give somebody the benefit of the doubt. And yes, there are those cases like that fucking white girl who accused black football player of rape, and it turned out it wasn't true, and he's suing her. Women and men who do that fuck it up for people who have really gone through it, because what you cause people to do afterwards is sit there and go, is it for attention? Do you just want the money? Are you sure that's what really happened? Maybe you read it the wrong way. Why didn't you say something earlier? Instead of just being like, you were put in this uncomfortable situation that you should have never been in. I'm so sorry. You don't deserve that. And that's all we want, is the power to just be like, I don't want this right now.
It's really hard. It's like, I guess we keep making up situations to where, like, in our heads, we would go through, because we look at it through the lens of being like good people.
Yeah.
And like, man, we would never do those things those people like are being accused of. Like that's crazy. Like the wine scene's like, man, I couldn't even fathom like doing something like that.
Right.
So it's like we try to make these situations of like, oh, what if this and what if that, because we think like, oh, if we were in those situations, it would be like this. It'd be like this very just miscommunication kind of thing. It wouldn't be intentional, like I'm going after this and doing this horrible thing.
Yeah, and I get it. I get what you guys are trying to get at, and you guys are good dudes, and so you don't see it that way because you can't wrap your head around somebody being that big of a piece of shit. But like, that's a rarity. Like, you guys are a rarity, and you need to know that. But yeah, that's not the case for everybody. Like, it's never really that. Like, what do you know, well, what if this and what if it's like, we don't get the option most of the time. You just don't.
Yeah. I think any guy there that doesn't understand that either, I think they have to start out with being more self-aware.
Yeah, for sure.
And in tandem, like try to do these things that we're saying. Like, even if it doesn't make sense, you try and then become more self-aware at the same time, and you'll see that, oh, damn, I was being a piece of shit.
Right.
Like, last week and shit.
And that second or 2 seconds of uncomfortableness of like, is it okay if like, we move forward? Your 2 seconds is more okay than her fucking lifetime or her fucking month of like, God, why did I let that guy do that?
Yeah.
Like, it's 2 seconds, and if you get rejected, you're fine. You know, but just ask. It's okay to be uncomfortable. We've been uncomfortable for so long, and we're still fucking here. You can ask for consent. It's not the end of the world.
I think I guess the key to all this would be there has to be way more communication on both sides.
For sure.
Because sometimes it's not a situation of like she didn't say something. Sometimes that's not a situation of he didn't ask. It's like situations of like nothing was said.
Right.
So Like, and I feel like those situations happen a lot more than are talked about, and then they end up, ruining someone's life, or someone now is accused of rape, and that basically, if you're accused of that, you're not getting that off. It doesn't matter. That's not fucking. If you didn't do it, if you did do it,
right? It's like,
it's over.
do you want this to second of awkwardness, or do you want to be accused of that?
Right.
Exactly. So I just feel like, from the male perspective, I've always been like, there's nothing wrong with being corny in these situations.
No, it's not.
Especially if the girl likes you, because then corniness works in your favor.
Fuck yes. As like a woman with like women friends, it's really cute when a guy's sweet and when he cares. Like, women like that. There's the women who want to live in a fucking fantasy and want the fucking bad guy. But
real
like,
niggas.
for the most part, like if somebody's being
out
kind,
here.
I'd be like, that was really cute. He asked me if he could kiss me. And
I told him no.
Right.
But
It was still
I
cute,
said
though.
not yet, but it was really cute.
damn, man, he corny as fuck. So this nigga sent shirtless pics. He asked.
I love that we can make a joke out of anything. I
what
think
we do.
It wouldn't be this if there wasn't laughs. I think as much as we mock how much millennials talk about shit, we need to do it. Like, they got that shit down, because look at how fucked up all our grandparents are and all the shit that they've done. And if you think your grandparents a saint, dig deeper. But they never spoke. They don't discuss feelings. They don't talk about shit. This is just what they do and how you roll with it. And we're straying away from that, and we're finally getting somewhere to where we can all be human with each other. So just fucking talk. You're fine. Talk it out.
Yeah. I would say talk to the right people. Like, talk to close friends, or talk to anybody.
Right.
This is coming from someone that
fucking guy at the corner store. Like, should I fuck this girl?
Yeah.
Like, don't do that.
This is coming from a person.
Yo, you gay, bro? Like,
no. It's because people tell me their sub stories all the time, man, like out of nowhere. Like, I barely met this person in 5 minutes. They're telling me about like how they need neck surgery because they're working on these printers all their life, and like
you say working on these penises all day?
printers.
Oh my god!
I'm sure people working on penises also have neck problems, but in this case, it was.
I was like,
printers.
that's legendary. How you grab that out of thin air?
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like we don't know what to do. We're all learning.
Yeah.
Going through this, like each of us, and then we all have to talk about our situation so that we could collect, pull the information together and then get somewhat of a standard going.
Yeah.
I'm a firm believer of like bad situations are always for us are always funny because we get to laugh about it afterwards, but also they're great teaching moments of shit to do and not to do.
Yeah.
So.
All right, guys.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
We've covered the surface of
Yeah.
men and women.
God.
This will be a ongoing thing probably
Oh, yeah.
throughout the show.
So anal sex, for or against. I haven't heard any disagreements. That's why we're gonna cut the show. You got. That's like the one comment.
Wait, talk more about that. I know. What was that? I need to know.
I'm hanging on every word.
It's for you, Forge.
Yo.
Forge. God,
But
kid.
it was in the name, the dragon. He gonna hit y'all with
Forge
the
the
dragon.
Forge the
Dragon.
dragon.
The dragon.
Thanks for watching though.
Yeah,
Forge the
for real. That's
Dragon.
awesome. That was really
It was
awesome.
nice.
We're
to
fucking with
get
you,
a
but-
comment. Yeah,
Keep
nice
coming.
to meet you, man. All right, guys.
All right.
I gotta get back to my husband.
All right, plugs.
The plugs. Find us on YouTube. How do I know you? You can find us directly if you just put our title #HDIKY. Yes, that. On Twitter, how do I know you? The number 1. My personal one at I am Mark.
At DC Junior 13.
And I'm at Adelfa ADELFAMARR on just about everything.
Just shitting on my spelling skills. Tight. Thanks.
Peace out.
Ladies, hit Mark up. He's
Oh my
single.
God,
He's
yes.
ready. He's
you
ready.
queens.
Been ready.
And if you're married and not happy, hit Mark up.
It's gonna happen. I'm gonna know about it, and we're gonna talk about it right on this podcast.
Oh, yeah.
So
We'll put you on blast quick fast.
We'll change the names. Unless you don't want to. Unless you want to be famous.
unless you want to be real about it,
You know? All good.
Forge the Dragon will be
Yeah.
supportive of you too.
It's
Alright,
Forge
guys.
the Dragon. We're just fucking Forge the Dragon.
Forge the Dragon.
But of course, if I don't know, and you don't know,
Who really knows?
and how do I know you?
I know.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Bye.